Muhammad Ibrahim was having a great day. He ran and ran and ran all through Iowa's defense, and then the dam finally broke. Great time to subscribe to the channel. Big Ten content every single day. Always crush the like button to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses. This was a performance for the ages for Muhammad Ibrahim. I don't think there's any getting around that. What he was able to do against this Iowa run defense that had been nothing short of phenomenal these last couple of weeks and really throughout the entire season. Only a couple of performances over 100 yards are really good performances against this Iowa defense in terms of running the football all season long. Muhammad Ibrahim, man, I just love the way he runs because you get him just a little bit, just past that line of scrimmage, and it seems like he runs faster and he gets more powerful the more contact he takes on. Muhammad Ibrahim, this performance outside of that fumble, man, this might be his greatest performance as a Minnesota Golden Gopher. What he was able to do, big run after big run, just keep churning, just keep falling forward against this elite Iowa Hawkeye defense is something that's going to go down for a while. And Minnesota fans might not look on it as fondly because they lost, but we really should appreciate this performance that Muhammad Ibrahim definitely put on. How about Spencer Petras? Spencer the Passer Petras. Is this a guy that can throw the ball? Wow, look at this passing effort of Iowa, especially early in this game. Now, the offensive output in terms of points on the board doesn't really reflect a great contest, but I was really impressed, especially at times in the first half when Spencer Petras was rolling out. You know, I really thought they should have done a lot more rollouts earlier in the season because it kind of masks the issues that you have on your offensive line. It gets Spencer Petras on the move, and I think Spencer Petras has proved over time that he's a good quarterback when he gets out in the open and he's got separation and he can put it there. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I know there was a lot of heat and a lot of flack on this Iowa offense and Spencer Petras specifically, but these last couple of games, I think when there's been a running game, I'll get to the Iowa running game here in just a minute, but when there's been a running game, it's really opened things up, but there wasn't a running game here today, and Spencer Petras was still able to do some things. I even think it maybe took Minnesota off guard a little bit, and we weren't expecting that. I'd be very curious as well to know. I mean, beginning of the season and really throughout the entire season, Keegan Johnson has not been available. And I think that's why Sam Laporta has played more snaps out at the X position, out at the Z position. I'd be very curious as to how many catches he has lined up as a receiver and how many catches he has lined up from a three-point stance at his tight end position because he's been all over the field and he's been a really big part of Iowa being able to salvage some offense here down the stretch. Man, those tight ends, it's tight end you for a reason at Iowa, and Sam Laporta is going to be another one. I mean, I think he's going to be an NFL tight end, and I think he's going to be a really good player. Now, there wasn't a running game today for Iowa. And usually I'm saying, well, you got to run the ball, you got to balance it, then Spencer Petras can open things up with the pass. And I think that kind of makes what Iowa was able to do throwing the ball early in this game a little bit more impressive. But you got to give a ton of credit to Iowa, or give a ton of credit to Minnesota, I should say, defensively and what they were able to do defending the run. Because you come in from a game planning perspective, Joe Rossi comes in from a game planning perspective and say, yeah, we shut this run down, we contain this run game. Is Spencer Petras really going to beat us down the field? Well, he kind of did in that first half. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Now, throughout this entire game, okay, the offenses were doing what they were doing. I don't think we were going to expect Ethan Kaliakmanis to go out there, throw the ball for 25 times in 10-degree weather and all of us, and I think that's where things kind of, I was impressed. I'll say this. I was impressed at how Minnesota was able to keep on running the football. Everybody in the freaking stadium, everybody in Minneapolis, all the way out here in the burbs, everybody knew Muhammad Ibrahim was going to run the football. And this offensive line still paved the way, and Muhammad Ibrahim still got what he got. I don't think anybody was expecting Ethan Kaliakmanis to do anything crazy in this game. But it all came down to an Iowa football game. It came down to Torrey Taylor and what they were doing special teams. They had a good punt return, and of course, the 2 turnovers. That's what I said at the beginning of the video. The dam finally broke. right? You're running the ball, you're running the ball, you're running the ball. Minnesota's moving the ball for a good amount of that second half, and you get inside the 40-yard line of Iowa a couple of times, and you turn it over. I'm not sure if this game would have been any different with Tanner Morgan. I know that's been a popular topic of conversation in Gopherland, ever since Ethan has kind of been the guy. But man, it was an Iowa football game. Low scoring, defense. Spencer Petras made a couple of throws, and of course the turnovers at the end of the game. That's how Iowa wins football game. Like it or not, that's Iowa Hawkeye football, and that's how they have built their program, and that's why they are as successful as they are. This puts Iowa in the driver's seat to get back to the Big Ten championship game. Do you think Iowa is going to make it back to the Big Ten championship game, close out the deal, and win the West for the second consecutive year? Where does this leave Minnesota? Where does this performance rank in terms of rushing attacks against an Iowa defense that Muhammad Ibrahim have? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Big Ten Ted. I am Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.